Al-Jamal.
Assalamu alaikum. We have continued raising concerns from one parliament to the next on crime, failing infrastructure, social economic challenges, and it has revealed to many in our country the condition that we are in. Al-Jamaa is concerned about the minimal effort towards holding relevant entities accountable, failure of investigation into recovery of wasteful, irregular expenditures and financial gains through corrupt means. The failure of accountability to the nation, more so the most deprived and economically challenged communities, is being repeated from one parliament to another. Our justice system and SAPS are dismally failing the victims of crime. Many cases are withdrawn and criminals are free to continue their crime spree in our communities, terrorizing innocent people. Crime is on an increase despite efforts to combat it. The DA-run Western Cape Province political games are at play where national is being blamed for SAP's lacks of resources and manpower. But when concerned communities march or have peaceful pickets against gangsterism, drugs, and in support of Palestine, the presence of police does not reflect what the DA claims. Sadly, we have further witnessed how SAPS is being used by certain elitist groups who support apartheid and the Zionist Israeli entity to brutally attack, victimize, and arrest peaceful picketers. Further, Honourable Speaker, when is the 9 members of Parliament going to be investigated and our questions be answered with regard to these particular members? Donald Trump has asked the Honourable President as to why Honourable Malema has not been arrested. Al-Jamaa is asking why have the members of Parliament who visit and claim no apartheid in Israel not being arrested and investigated? I thank you.
Bring it on as a debate.
Honourable members, that concludes member statements. Are there any ministerial responses? Honourable Michalakis.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, just on the last comment, I do believe that if an allegation is made that members of this House have committed a criminal offence, that a substantive motion has to be brought against them, and that a member can't make such allegations against members of this House. Thank you.
Thank you, Makhalati.
Honourable Reddy, I am still busy with that point of order. I will recognize you later. Honourable Saleh, I am still busy with Honourable Michalakis' point. Honourable members, it is indeed so that if you do make any accusations of that kind of nature, which would reflect or imply a criminal activity, that you do bring a substantive motion to the House. So you may do that. Honourable Saleh, I'm not going to go into an interaction with you. This is my ruling. And I first had Honourable Reddy.
Thank you, Honourable Acting Deputy Speaker. The rules say that at the point where you see the discretion, the discrepancy being made, you raise the point then. Honourable Michalakis has done this several times where he raises points of order after the event. And if he claims to be an expert in the rules, he should know this. Please make sure that he knows this and stop abusing us and the rules in the House. Thank you.
The rules also make provision for the presiding officer's discretion. So I have dealt with the matter. Honourable Michalakis, I have ruled on the matter that a substantive motion is necessary. Please proceed.
Deputy
I will
Speaker,
come back to you.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. Deputy Speaker, is the member going to be asked to withdraw her statement as well, or is that not part of your ruling? Just for
That is not part of my ruling. I will also look at the Hansard and will also come back with that if it is necessary. Honourable Saleh, Honourable Saleh.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, more than a month ago, we have brought a request through to the Speaker with regard to this particular matter. There is an investigation and we're waiting more than a month for further report back in this matter. Thank you.
Thank you. We will take that up with the Speaker as it was directed at her office. Honourable members, we now proceed. Are there any members of the Executive wishing to reply? Honourable Malatsi. Honourable Malatsi, please give me a moment. Let me just see who's all. That's the only minister in the House on the virtual platform. Let's just see.
Don't stay and must reply. John must reply. Why he said what he said there?
Order, honorable members. I have, and we can only take 7 minister. I have Honorable Malatsi in the House. I have Deputy Minister Mashlobo. Then I have Bushlela. I have Minister Steenhuisen, Deputy Minister Nel. Honorable Minister Malatsi.
Thanks very much, Deputy Speaker. In response to the member statement shared by Honorable Bodlani, and I think also the member from the MK, I think it's important to acknowledge that what the gazetted regulation seeks to do is nothing away from the spirit of the existing provisions of the Act, particularly broad-based Black economic empowerment, which makes provision for the introduction of equity equivalence as an alternative to investment. This is not some invention by a villager from Limpopo called Malatsi. It is there in the rules, and I would want to refresh the member from the MK. The BBBE Act, the Amendment Act, was assented on the 28th of February 2024. And if everybody knows who the president of the country at that time is, you know that is the current leader of the founder of his own party. So he must refresh his own memory about the empowerment laws of this country. And 2014, I see Honorable, yes, 2014. And to the EFF, there was a member from the EFF who went on a tirade about some conspiracy of assassination. You don't need an assassination to see that the EFF is finished. The EFF is finished. And that is why...
When you respond, because you're not the one supposed to respond.
And
Ask an international
Order, members.
Inkabi.
Order.
For enlisting an international
Order.
Inkabi. An international Inkabi.
Honorable
to come
Minister,
and deal
Honorable
with the
Minister,
leadership
please
of the
wait.
EFF.
Honorable Minister, please pause. Honorable member from the EFF. Honorable member, please proceed with your point of order. What point are you rising on?
No, Honorable Deputy Speaker, the minister is out of order. He cannot come to this house instead of responding to the statements that the members put forward. Yeah, now he's talking about the finished EFF. Which criteria is he using to determine that EFF is finished? He can't do that. Respond to their member statements.
Honorable members, honorable
Honorable
member from
Speaker, on a
honorable
point of
member,
order.
I have not recognized you. There is a point of order from your member on the floor, so you are now interrupting your member. So I am busy
On a point of
ruling.
order.
Honorable member, you cannot take a point of order whilst I'm busy ruling on another point of order. Please consult the rules, and could the chief whip of the EFF also assist with your members, please? Honorable Minister, there was a point that you made certain remarks about a party. Now, honorable members, in terms of the rules, and this was also dealt with in the courts, that if it is a reflection on an individual member, you need a substantive motion. If it refers to a party, it is not, in terms of the rules, not allowed. So you may cast any comments on a party. That is obviously the minister's opinion, and I would suggest that the honourable member take it up with the minister. Yes, honourable member, I will now allow you. What point are you rising on?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to rise on a point of order, Honorable Speaker, because the Honorable Minister was not in Washington when John Steenhuisen was making this comments. He was not invited.
Honourable-
And John Steenhuisen was
Honourable
speaking
member.
there not as a political leader
Honourable
of the
member.
TA, but as a minister of government.
Honourable member,
He was not speaking
honourable
as
member,
a
I am
political
addressing
leader
you.
of the TA.
Honourable member, that is not relevant. That is not a point of order. That is a matter for debate. We will now proceed. Honourable Minister Malatsi, you have a minute left.
Thanks very much, Deputy Speaker. In the interest of progress, we would leave the status of the finished parties to their members to ventilate. But the important thing here is that we are dealing with make sure that the existing regulations in the telecommunications sector are standardized and speak to the spirit of the empowerment rules of this country. And those are covered in the BBBE Act of this country. What we are doing is to make sure that there is consistency across the board. The same rules apply to every player in the market. There is no conspiracy of an exemption for one particular company here. It is about an effort to seek that the rules consistently speak to the spirit of the Act around empowerment and the transformation goals of this country, which are non-negotiable, and there's no deviation from that. Thanks, House Chair.
Deputy Minister Mashlobo.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. Just to thank Honorable Makasi for the input around the question of Naisna. Our attitude is that Naisna is an important local municipality. We agree with you, it has to be supported, and the support must never be weaponized to score cheap political points. That municipality, in the last administration, the Deputy President went there, the Minister of Water and Sanitation, which I was part of, and COGTA. We work with the provincial government. Let's continue with our support in terms of Section 154 and other intervention with respect to water delivery. And we also welcome the initiative taken by the Mayor and the MM to bring about the issues of private sector investment and private sector participation. The others that you have referred to, let them not claim easy victories and try to actually give them an accolade that doesn't deserve. On the question raised by Honorable Mom, let's indicate on record the two institutions that are implementing the project on the Lesotho Highlands, TCTA and LHDA, they are being audited by the respective or public audit institutions, HGSA for South Africa and the Lesotho AG. But we do agree that with the Auditor General recommendation, that issues of oversight and accountability, we must tighten them. By themselves, which is a portfolio committee, they are doing so well to oversight. Ministry, we are going to meet with the commission on quarterly basis with the two ministers. Our own delegates will also do that. But more importantly, we are in the process to review the treaty, working with the Ministry of Energy and Electricity and Minister of DESCO as part of the BNC. If that suggestion of involvement of HGSAA on the other side, we'll have to look at the modalities and constitutionality, how it works. But at this stage, let's not create an impression as if Minister Majodina is reluctant. This is our formal response. We gave it in the portfolio committee. We gave yesterday how are we tightening issues of oversight, but we don't claim to have monopoly of wisdom. All other ideas on how to tighten issues of transparency and accountability to ensure that the project by 2028-2029 it is delivered on time, but not more than the 53.3 billion rands. That will be able to account for contingencies and the other escalations. Thank you so much, Chair.
Thank you, Deputy Minister. Deputy Minister Poshlela.
No, Deputy Speaker.
Honorable Matwe, what is your point of order?
Yeah, thank you. I had my hand up. I thought maybe the table would have informed you. I just wanted to say, Deputy Speaker, when we do member statements and the executive is responding, we expect responses such as this one of the Deputy Minister of Water. Not that we entirely agree with what he says, but he's attempting
Honorable Matwe, that is not a point of order.
Not the
Honorable
tracking
Matwe,
that we see of
that
Malawi.
is not a point of order. That is your opinion. We will proceed.
We want factual
Minister
information
Poshlela.
responses to our issues.
Honorable
Not
Matwe.
tracking. Malawi was tracking to John, Deputy Speaker.
Please mute the Honorable Matwe. Deputy Minister, please proceed.
Deputy Speaker, I assume that you're referring to me as Deputy Minister of
Yes,
Health.
indeed.
Pasha, not Pashala.
Pasha, yes. My
Yes.
apologies.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank to the member of the EFF who have raised the issue about the problems experienced in Mangaung. We do acknowledge, Honorable Deputy Speaker, and to the honorable members that there has been problems with the main mortuary in Mangaung, which relates to a number of infrastructure breakdown. The team from the province, together with our national infrastructure team, is working around the clock to address those issues. Some of the infrastructure matters have already been addressed, but there's still some major areas which relate to the systems for ventilation, which has not yet been resolved. There's equipment which has been ordered, which the team is working around to make sure that this can be restored. So we want to take this time to indeed apologize to the inconvenience to the members of the community, but want to assure the members in the House and also especially the community of Mangaung that our teams are doing everything to make sure that this matter can be resolved. And we will be able to report to the portfolio committee with the progress being made. But want to give an assurance that this matter is receiving all the highest consideration from the Ministry of Health. Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Deputy